Yeah. Okay. What do you know about the coup that happened in Guatemala, 1964?
Genuinely nothing.
Well, let me tell you. Do you know Carlos Castillo Armas? You do.
Sort of, sure.
He was a dictator.
I know that it's sort of like a situation where like Guatemala was kind of almost tricked into like this dude. But that's all I know about it.
Well, anyways, there was a U.S.-backed coup where the U.S.
I mean, there usually
overthrew.
fucking is.
Stand up!
So bad, yeah. So bad.
Okay.
Right here,
Have
over
you-
here, over here, over here, over here.
Yes, what do you know? What do you know? Okay, what do you know about the Bay of Pigs invasion?
I know really so the war happened, and there were maybe pigs in it. No, it was people. It was people, but they just called it that for some reason. I didn't really. I'm sorry, I don't know that much about it. I'm not very good at history.
Okay, well, do you know history?
Yes.
I mean, wait, do you know the U.S.?
Yes.
Do you know Cuba?
Yes.
Fidel Castro.
Okay.
No. Fidel Castro was a revolutionist. Yes, he overtook Cuba, but he was communist.
Whoa! We don't like communism.
So the U.S. tried to invade Cuba. But then Fidel Castro was like, nah. And then they beat the U.S. Yeah!
Viva communism! Viva communism!
Have you ever heard Monroe Doctrine?
Monroe Doctrine, no.
Okay, have you ever heard the Panama Canal? The canal that goes through Panama.
Hell no.
Yes, I have.
I have not.
I have.
Is that in our class? Oh my god.
Okay, so can I tell you about it?
Yes, tell me about it. Can I guess?
Yeah.
The Panama Canal is a whole bunch of immigrants coming to Costa Rica out of nowhere because the government was probably communist at that time. And Costa Rica was like, okay, come on, we're gonna offer you refuge. Tell me, what is it?
Let me tell you, the U.S. built a canal in Panama. It took 10 years.
Hell
10
yeah.
years.
10 years.
And then they made the canal zone.
What was it making? You said it took 10 years to make. What the fuck was it making?
A canal.
Sorry, what the freak was it making?
A
Yeah.
canal.
Canal.
Duh.
What is a canal? Like, what do you mean by that? I'm really confused. A man-made river. A man-made river. A man-made river.
Yes, and then there's a canal zone, and the U.S. owned it, and the U.S. owned the canal, and then it was basically screwed from there, and then there was a war between Panama and the U.S.
No, a war.
Frick!
Fuck war.
What y'all know about the Haitian Revolution? Nothing. You know nothing? Okay, so the Haitian Revolution, that was like the first black revolution. And it was like all the slaves in Haiti, they were like, enough is enough. And so they rose up and started killing the slaves, like massacring like the white man. And then there was like Toussaint Ron, and he was like the head honcho of like the uprising. Loki, Alex Lord, he like was educated at the Constitution, and he schooled the French, the Spanish, the English, and then went back to the French again. Like, you call that shit. What are your thoughts?
That's like really cool.
Really cool. Who's on that?
What do you know about the Banana Republics?
Say again? Banana republics?
Yes.
Banana republics is a general term for a country that has a authoritarian government that is based on a natural resource that is derived out of the country. It's based on especially bananas. Back in the 18 and 1900s, companies like Dole and others would extract those resources out of that country. Chiquita, that's correct, yes. And would support only the parts of the government that would help their business. This also has been extended to include countries that exist purely off of oil production. Those are banana republics in that they have authoritarian governments and rely entirely on one natural resource.
All right. So, what happened with the banana republics was that there was 3 banana companies, the Standard Fruit Company, some other company, and another company was like, yo, what if we took over the country? So they took over Colombia, a little bit, Guatemala, a lot bit, and Nicaragua, a lot bit. And they're like, yo, what if we controlled everything? We controlled the economy, we controlled everything about the economy and whatnot. So they were like, all right, what if we paid everyone kind of shittily, and what if we made a shit ton of money? And so for like 50 years, they're like, hell yeah, let's do this shit. And then in Colombia, some workers were like, hey, what if we got rights, you know? What if we got fair wages? What if we didn't work a shit ton and we worked a normal amount of time? And then the Standard Fruit Company was like, yeah, for sure, let's all right. So the Standard Fruit Company was like, yo, what if we talked about this shit and then we made a deal? And then they're like, come to this city somewhere in Colombia. I don't know what city that was, but they're like, let's come to the city. So like 1,000 workers came to the city, and then no one was fucking talking to them. So they were just kind of chilling for like a lot of time. And then at 1 a.m., the fucking government was like, yo, what if you guys left? That would be sick. And then 10 minutes later, the government was like, ah, shit, you guys didn't leave. Let's shoot you all. And then the Colombian banana massacre happened, and they got shot, which wasn't that great. It led to some political consequences. I don't remember what they were, but they were something. I'm sure you know what they were, because I said that in the past. Fucking mosquito. I'll fucking kill you, you piece of shit. Anyways.